welcome back.
We are back, finally, 6 months later. 6 freaking months. We will tell you about that. Actually, you can tell me because you're the reason.
Yes, but first, before we get into any of that, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Please do that. And we'll remind you again later because I always forget that on videos I really like. And it's like, well, let me watch a little bit of it first, and then I'll tell you if I want to.
What's funny is we're both so terrible with technology and with this kind of stuff that you actually wrote it down twice in our notes.
Yes,
so we
I did.
remember to see
that. Yes.
So please help us out. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Do the thing. Right. All right, so this is Daniel Flowerdew here and Laura Lee Mystica with really weird shit on steroids. So, yeah, I mean, there's a few reasons why it's been 6 months, and yes, it is all my fault. I spent a lot of time taking care of my grandparents and, you know, taking care of things around the house, and I just haven't had the time to drive out here to do these, and we've only seen each other 3 times since the last video.
Since last November, yeah. It's been a while, so.
It has been, and those 3 times, we didn't have time to, actually, I don't even think I came out to the property. No, I did once.
Once, but there was other people there, and so we couldn't. It's not, and it was getting dark, and so.
Yeah, it was. I think 8 o'clock at night in winter, so it was dark. So that's the long story short. But we're here now.
We're here now, and it's not because we haven't wanted to. It's just that we couldn't. Okay.
Exactly. It just didn't work out.
Hopefully, we're going to be able to really do lots of them now.
Yes. Yes.
So, are we ready to go into weird shit on the farm?
Let's do it!
Let's do it! Okay, first thing, my Magick Pen. I can't find it. Looked everywhere after our last thing, just gone. And I found another one. I thought, oh, that's it. Oh, it still had some. And it's like, shoot, that's not it. So, I don't know what happened to the Magick Pen, but it won't be with us anymore, I don't think.
What was that?
It won't be with us anymore, I don't think. Okay. Yeah, I gotta speak up because people can't hear me when I do my whisper voice. Okay.
That and I'm partially deaf, so I can't hear you when you do your whisper voice.
Will you remind me, and then I'll know that I
hear what was it? Oh, and also before we get into all of it, I just want to share this fun little shirt. One of our HRT friends gave it to me. And I don't know if it'll flip it around or not, but what it says is, if you can't handle the heat, don't poke the dragon.
That's
right. Got this cute little dragon here.
Yeah. That is so cute, yeah. And you've seen mine, everybody knows what it was. So. And
if you want to get your own cryogenic shirt, you just have to go to First Wave Indigo. Yeah. FirstWaveIndigos.com, and you can have your own cryogenic shirt too.
That's right. You could be a person in the gang too.
Exactly. It's real fashion.
It is. Real fashion.
Real fashion.
So first up is the Fluffy Butt Report. And this was back in November 13th, 2025. And so all of these are like my weird shit notes from the Fluffy Butts. And I sang, and they came out for a few seconds, and I said, I know you're busy, and they said, we are, but we just wanted to tell you that we knew what you have been doing. And I'm like, what was that? We were doing a lot of, like, IT stuff, no, TI. Not IT stuff.
Not invisible technology stuff, just like technology stuff.
Well, and weird shit technology stuff, and then we connected to the unknown soldier. That's another whole thing, and so they said, we just wanted to thank you. It affects our work too, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I'll have to look into that. And then they said, gotta go now. And then I find out that the TI stuff had to do with factory farms. and I didn't know that at the time. So that was really interesting. And so I started singing again, and some of my older chickens joined in, like Minnie and the original Atlanta. So I'm like, okay, who is it? You guys are supposed to be, oh, it's not them, it's us. So I thought that was funny. And older chickens, I mean, some that have passed away a long time ago. So that was new. And then on November 16th, I came out to the chickens, and I was very quiet. It was very quiet out there. And I wondered, I don't connect as much as I used to do with them, and I know they're busy. And I heard, we are, but we're always here. We'll never leave, but we'll never is a long time, so no one really knows. So then on the 22nd of November, I sang the hi ho song. And then I thought to myself, stop expecting them to come out. They are moving on with their lives. And then I heard them chime in harmony. And I said, I know you're busy. You don't have to come out. I just checking in. And one of them said, chicken check-in. And then I started to laugh. Okay, so then a few days later, on the 25th of November, I came out. There was no singing. It was very quiet. And I hear you. And I said, I hear you too. And they said, I love you. And I said, I love you too. And then that was it.
And then that was it. And then they're gone.
That was it. They're gone.
Just like how it used to be with Dracky.
Yes.
He'd come in, say one word, and then poof. Who said that? I don't know. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Good thinking. Okay, then on December 1st, I came out, and I did not sing. There was no singing from them, and something just felt off. And I asked if they were okay, and I heard, yeah, just busy. And I said, okay, and then it just felt weird. So I did this thing where I snap my fingers and go after the boogers, or go after something. I didn't know what it was. And then I heard them say, thanks, something was on us. We're okay now, but we're busy. So I'm like, okay. So then on the 10th of December, I sang the hi-ho song. And I said, we can't come out, but we still love you. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I know that. Yeah, okay. So then on the 20th, when I came out, and they said, we don't come out much lately. We're very busy. And I said, I know, and it's okay. And then I started singing in my opera voice, and then the song When You're Young at Heart, with my own lyrics, of course. I can't remember what the lyrics were.
That's always the best.
That's always the best. And then they came out and were singing very loud with me, and then flew back in the donut. And then when it was quiet, one of them flew back to say bye, and then flew back again. So then on the 29th of December, I came out and started singing, and they did too. And then mid-song, they said, we got to go now. And they were gone. So now talk about Dracky.
Mm-hmm. At least they said bye.
Yeah, instead of just gone. Then on the 5th of January, I came out and I started singing. And I got this autoresponder, and it says, not home. And then I heard, we're here, but we can't, let's see, we're here, but you can still keep singing, and the other chickens enjoy it. And that made a lot of sense. So, the next one.
And while you're flipping the pages too, you know, I have seen the Fluffy Butts every once in a while on missions. They don't always help with everything we do.
No.
But they are very, very helpful with
they're
factory
doing their
farms
thing.
and helping out
So
animals.
remember that when we come to the sad part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't feel or hear them, and I thought, there's this autoresponder, you know, it's very good. It's like high-end tech AI, and they're doing their missions and only come back for emergencies. So this high-tech autoresponder it was getting really good, so I could hardly tell that that's what it was. Okay, then on the 17th of January, I'm in the house thinking of the chickens while making treats and how the fluffies would mob me and the other chickens would run away like, oh, it's a human, run for your life. And then how I had to kick them out of the way so I wouldn't step on them when I came in. I mean, it was just like they're all over my feet, and I thought, I'm going to hurt you, boot them out.
So in other words, they ran away from you when you wanted to be with them, but when you were trying to do other things, that's when they were at your feet.
And that was the other chickens that would run away. Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, evil human, get out of here. But the fluffy butts, no, it's just mob. Okay.
That's true. They did.
I'm glad you brought that up. That it was my other chickens that did that.
You probably said it. I don't know. I zoned out for a second there. I was looking outside and I was like, oh, that's really pretty.
Isn't that pretty? No, the other chickens are like, it's a human, run, they're going to murder us. And I picked him up before and I said, have I ever given you any reason to run away and think that I'm going to murder you? Now just cut it out. So, anyway.
The only reason they need is you're a human.
That's right. Absolutely.
Sometimes you forget you're not a chicken.
That's right. That's on the lost skeleton of Cadaver. Yeah. So, trying to kick him out of the way when they're like all over mobbing me, and then Purple Pecker was the worst and would tap me on the back of the leg when she wanted treats, which was all the time. So anytime I'm there, she's like, peck, 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 peck. And then sometimes she would get my hands, and if I didn't have gloves on, that is not a good idea, okay, because I'm not 20 anymore, and my skin isn't real spongy, so.
And her beak was sharp.
And her beaks were very sharp, yes.
There's that too.
And then I heard one of them say, oh, we're so sorry. We never thought that our pecking hurt you. Now we know. Can you forgive us? That must have hurt really bad sometimes. Okay, so then a month later, the Fluffies told me that they can't, this was on February 15th, that they can't come out here much these days, and said, we kind of felt obligated for a while. And I said, yeah, I was feeling that. Because, it's like when I go out there and sing, I'm like, you don't have to come out, If it just felt obligatory to me. And I said, I know that. And when I was singing and no one came out, if you did, it felt obligatory to me. And you just keep doing your job. And when I hear from you, when I don't hear from you much, I know that that's what's going on, that you're busy. But I did feel a bit sad, and that phase of my our mission was over. And they said, we did too, but it's time to move onward and forward. And that just, that just got to me, because that's something Amika would always say. Okay, so then a month later, on March the 7th, I thought of the Fluffies when I went out to lock the babies in their pen, and I heard, or unlock them out of their pen, and we heard, we're not there. And I'm like, yeah, I know, you're busy, you got your new jobs. And then they said, we're not there, we're here. Like they made it up, we're not there, we're here. And that was the last time I've heard or seen them, except for sometimes when we're doing missions and they're a part of it, like when we were working with helping the chickens in factory farms, and they were like all over that one.
And in the next video we will go into more detail on that part as well. So be sure to keep, keep watching.
That's right.
Come back for the next episode, because we have some fun stuff to share.
Stories.
To help with the factory farm chickens and animals.
Yes. And there's some really amazing silver things, okay? I'm just going to tell you, that's just spoiler alert. They're silver and they're round, okay? Okay, so that's it for Weird Shit on the Farm.
Yay! So, since you were talking about, the chickens saying that the time has come, it's time to move onwards and forwards, it really brought to our attention this dynamic with crossing over. Mm-hmm. So, there's a few things here that I want to say. First, I just want to throw this in here because there's a lot of religions and a lot of dogma that says suicide is bad. I have helped ghosts cross over, and you have too, and we've talked about this, where sometimes
it's an act of love.
Sometimes it was an act of love. And now, if a person commits suicide because they're depressed or they're sad, that will put them in a spirit trap automatically. Like, that itself is a trap. And they're trying to end their life to get out of that trap, but it doesn't work.
But then there's vultures waiting for them and go, oh, cool, we got endless loosh.
So I do want to clarify that suicide is not a sin. It is not inherently evil. Okay, so as a Ghostbuster, I feel like that's really important to share because a lot of people have friends and family who have committed suicide, and they'll reach out to us totally distraught and wondering, oh my gosh, what happened to them? Where are they? And, so we're currently at this point where once a person crosses over, unless they're working with the Kryahgenetics eggs in the rocks, it's kind of a crapshoot on where they go. Mm-hmm. Now, thankfully, we're always out here, thanks to, clients and people asking for our help, we're constantly finding all of these spirit traps and rescuing thousands of spirits at a time.
That got sucked into them, yeah.
So currently, we are in that spot in our human development, okay? However, we are slowly moving towards a point where people will instantly go to rehab once they cross.
And yes, we're getting there.
We're getting there. We're working on it. Oh,
yeah,
knock on wood.
To all our magic
got it all over us. Yeah, exactly. And I had a rock in hand when I did it too.
That's right.
Okay, so.
Oh, that's double good.
So what did you want to share about the crossing over?
It's
dynamics?
Almost like religion has bastardized it. It's like, okay, they don't want you to cross. Okay, they're making your life hell. And if you do something to say, okay, I'm done with this, ain't nobody gonna, mess with me anymore. I'm gonna, and then they try to make you think, okay, then that's automatically you're gonna go to hell. And that is in so many religions. I know it was in the Mormon church, and I said it. That's what
you went there.
Been there, done that. Got the t-shirts. So,
well, we were talking last night. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine.
But we were talking last night about that too, and how most times when people die, if they are stuck in any way or believing in any way in dogmas and religions,
that's where they go.
Simultaneously, once they cross, they get stuck in those spots. Mm-hmm. And most of them are not pleasant. Some of them will seem pleasant at first, but they're still a trap. Yeah. But they're still a trap. When there's no growth, there's no development, there's no moving forward.
And then you're coerced and strong-armed into coming back and fixing all of the horrible things that you have done, and which is such bullshit. Okay.
If that's the spirit trap you get sent to, where you're forced to reincarnate.
Yeah. Or you could just be in hell, it depends.
But we had a fellow HRT that reached out to us not that long ago that she had a friend who was military and life was just too much for him. And so he committed suicide. And that's kind of what brought it to our attention again, because, we deal with dead people all the time. So, it's happened a few times. But she was so distraught and she was like, I don't know what's going to happen to him. Now, she was able to egg him up. And the eggs cleaned him up. and he crossed over and he went to rehab. He went to the appropriate rehab for him. And so she reached out to us just like, I don't know if I helped him right. I don't know what's going on. But the rocks and eggs took him where he needed to go. And her love for him, her appreciation for him really bridged the gap.
Yeah.
It created the safe space for him. And then he felt the egg and then he got cleaned up and poof.
So that means you can do it too.
So you can do it too.
So just start practicing. How will you know unless you practice? So, yeah.
Yeah, and as long as you're using the rocks and eggs, the rocks and eggs will know where they need to go. There's no fear, oh, what if I'm putting them into the light and they're going into a trap? The eggs won't do that.
But you have to say original, authentic cryogenics eggs. Just don't say egg, because, like, who knows what egg you'll get. You got to be specific.
Yes, it has to be original, authentic, upgraded, uncompromisable, and true Kryahgenetics badass egg.
If you want to get real German, yes, say all those things.
It doesn't take long. And when you say it with intention, it's worth it.
You can make a song out of it.
Oh, I bet you could. I'm not going to right now, but you could. Do you want to try?
Another time. We got some really fun things to talk about.
You guys make a song out of it too.
That's right.
And feel free to send us voicemails singing your song. Oh, I love that idea.
Okay, next on the list is language, okay, and how, especially recently, things that you say or things that you hear are absolutely not what was said, okay? So we're going to give you some examples. One of them happened just half hour ago. Yes.
Just today.
Okay.
Yeah, I was out there and I just recently bought a new drum. I will share it soon. At the end of this video, we're gonna share one of Laura Lee's new techniques, one of the new reality pataphysics declarations that she has created and that I help with.
Absolutely.
So when I was talking about the drum, I was like, yeah, I want to record just playing it so I can use it, for healing practices, right? And I said for pets and humans, and Laura Lee thought I said to hex humans, and I'm like, no.
I thought it said for hex and humans.
For hex and humans.
I'm like, well, I guess you can do that with your drum.
Yeah, well, and the drum said, yeah, as long as it's assholes, I don't mind hexing them.
But that just goes to show you, don't believe everything you hear. Make sure that you qualify it, because that's really
Make sure you
good.
ask.
Okay.
Don't believe everything you hear.
So then, a few weeks ago, my husband came, and I've been working on Kryahgenetics I and II, upgrading them and re-editing them, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But so he comes in and he says, look at your office. It's a mess again. I thought he was being like some kind of, what do you call it when you're making fun of Mexicans? Like a white supremacist, something.
Oh, like a racist joke, kind of.
Joke, yeah. I thought, why would you call my office a Mexican?
Yeah. Why would you call my office a Mexican? Is what she heard. Is Mexican.
Yeah, but I thought he was saying it in a Mexican, like a Mexican, like with the accent on it. And I'm like, what? And he said, no, it's a mess. I'm like, okay, so it's not a Mexican. Anyway,
and he's like, mess
again. I'm like, okay, no white supremacy, anything here. So that was funny. So we're always talking about.
He's not one of those Germans.
No. You're right. Okay, now this is the funniest story ever. Okay, so I had my birthday back in November, okay, and everybody came. It was my big 7-0, okay. So I haven't had a birthday party that fun ever. So we went to a Mexican restaurant. It's just a mile away from here. And Ronnie, my Ghostbuster partner, was there, and she was sitting next to me, and she asked me how the chickens were, and I got 2 new ones and 2 new fluffy butts, and so I was all excited. And so then later, we're eating, and she says, "So, how are you girls doing with the porn thing?" And I'm like, What? What did you say?
And so she's repeating it over and over again, and it still sounds the same way. Porn thing. The porn thing. It's like, what porn thing? We're not forcing our chickens to watch porn.
First I said, which girls? And she says, your girls. I'm like, I've only got one daughter. What are you talking about? She says, your chickens. What are they doing with their quarantine?
Quarantine with that Q.
And I'm like, what chickens and what porn? What the hell are you talking about? I have no idea. I'm scratching my head. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? So we've been laughing about that one for a long time.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And we'll keep laughing about it. I laugh about it every time I think about it. So that's just some really interesting things that you need to be aware of and make fun of after, okay? Okay, so next up is Daniel for what he's doing next.
Okay, so first, I gotta say, I've got a lot on my plate, so I'm doing the best I can with this. However, I still have the plan to make a Q&A session twice a month through my website. I'm still trying to figure out the ins and outs of it and how to get it done and how to get it set up. But what I'm hoping to do is the first Wednesday and the last Saturday of every month, I'm going to be doing a 1-hour Q&A group session. I still have to make my subscription based on my website. There's still so much to figure out. If any of you want to help me with it, I'd be glad to give you a discounted price. Just saying, because I could use the help. I'm not a techie. I'm a weird shit person, not a tech person. So I don't want to do all that shit. But it's so hard for us to always put out videos, and we love doing it, and we're so grateful for those of you who really enjoy our videos. But it is not feasible.
People.
But it's not feasible for us to do them every week, and we constantly have new things coming up that we're discovering.
Updates all the time.
All the time. So I'm hoping that once I get that set up, it'll not only give all of us a space to have community and be around other weird shit people, but to also make it to where it's going to be more accessible for everyone to get the current updates. Of course, you'll still have to watch these videos.
Oh, yeah. Because these are the
don't
major
get out of
updates.
that. That's right. But that is my current goal. I've been working on it now for probably 3 months. It's a long process, especially since I'm not a techie. So I get online, I get on my computer, I spend 10 minutes on there, and then I get pissed. And I need to go away, and then I forget. And also, I have, I recently did a course on De-Stink-Tion. I talked about it in our last video that I was going to do it, and I did, and it was so successful. Thank you everyone that participated. And I have been working since then to recreate the De-Stink-Tion book. It is a book now. It's about 50 pages now. It's a small book, but it's a book, where I'm going to be laying out all of the techniques that I shared in that course. Now, granted, there's millions of techniques and probably close to 50 that I know. I ain't going to put all of them in there. I'm just going to put a few in there, okay?
The best ones.
Just the best ones. And so thank you, everyone, for your patience with all of that. I am still working on it, and it's looking really good. It's one of those things, like these videos, where it kind of had to happen in the right timing. As the days go by, I'm finding new things that I'm putting into the book. I'm finding new ways of writing the techniques and making it easier to understand. But thank you, everyone who participated. And I will share this. This is exciting news. Laura Lee doesn't know this either. when I have this book done, I'm going to be offering it on my website as a gift. I will not be charging for it. My whole goal for writing this book is getting viable information out there to help the people who need it. And I know that not everyone has the money. And so I'm going to be offering it as a gift.
But they could do a donation if they
Oh,
wanted.
of course.
Yeah.
Or better yet, you can get a session.
Yeah.
Put your money towards a session. But yeah, I've thought about it now for several weeks. And I know that that's what I want to do.
But give him a donation, okay? I'm just saying. Okay.
But yeah, I'm very excited for it, and I really want to get it out there for everyone. So thank you, everyone, for your patience. It's going to be more than worth it. And not to sound too mushy-gushy, but all of you are worth the time and effort it's taking me to make this book. And, you know, if it was up to just me, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I hate writing. Ask Laura Lee. I don't even write notes.
Oh, you do?
I do, but I don't like it. I don't like it. So it's going to be a gift of love and a labor of love. And I just really, I know it's going to help everyone who reads it. And that is my goal for getting it out there. So
I will help him get it out, okay?
I know. You and the other HRT. We have a group of about 10 HRT that are also helping me out with this book.
Well, it's going to be awesome. And
yeah.
So that's what he's doing. And what I've been doing, well, we've been out of pocket, so to speak, is re-editing Kryahgenetics I and Kryahgenetics II because we're putting it on Kindle Direct, and I thought, okay, I probably should go check for any typos and stuff. Oh no, it just got bigger and bigger.
So we had our HRT friend and Kana in training, Nancy Buss, help you out with these two books.
Yes.
And she was phenomenal help too.
She's a very, very nitpicky kind of. And I had to put a disclaimer.
She caught so much. And there were things that we both saw. There was one section in particular on the Gaia story that you shared in one of your recent mini newsletters. Yes. It took us about 7 hours together.
Together, and then I did another.
That's not.
It was horrible.
And then Nancy also, she told me she spent 2 or 3 hours working on that segment too.
That segment, the Gaia story, we'll have a link to the story because, and there's going to be more. And then we only had this much space to put the information of the Gaia story. It had to be clear and concise and take this and this and this and this and put it all here so it was understandable. That story will change your life and your perception of the Earth, okay? Yes.
And the planets.
And all the other planets, because it turned into some really amazing stuff.
Yeah, so this segment was maybe 1 page long, page and a half, and it took us all that time to get it figured out.
It was only a few paragraphs.
It was only a few paragraphs, but it's so worth it. It turned out so amazing.
Now, that doesn't mean that the old books are worthless. They're not.
Oh, no.
They have incredible information, and we're going to be offering a discount on those. We haven't figured out exactly what that is. But we're going to be offering a discount, so just go to my website and...
but I am so excited for these updated versions of Kryahgenetics I and II. I had a little sneak peek into it, one of the many perks of being your friend. And they are amazing. The old ones are amazing. Now, I have the original author's manuscript of K1. I have the first official version of K1. And now the newest version of K1. And each one, it's really fun to read them all side by side because there's information in the author's manuscript that's not in the other ones. There's information in the first version of K1 that's not in the other ones. True. And so when you have all of them, it's almost like owning 3 or 4 different books. They have a lot of similar information. You're not going to be missing out, if you only have one or the other, really. But if you can get all of them, it is so worth it. I think I got the last one on
You
Amazon.
probably did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got it.
And you can tell it was outdated because on the first page it said love and
light.
And I was like, no! Boy, things have changed in the last 15 years.
Longer than that. That was in the year 2000 or 1999.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, 27 years then.
27 years,
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot's changed in about 30 years. But,
So,
if you can get your hands on the newest Kryahgenetics I and II, oh, it's so worth it.
so we're going to
They're
have...
so amazing. And the old ones are good, too. So
Well,
make sure you have both.
I'm like, holy crap. This is... I forgot about this. And then I think, did I really write that? It's like, well, no, Hal was there helping you. But yeah, you wrote it. So it was interesting.
Oh, it was great because between you and Nancy, you guys were, like, sharing little blurbs here and there with me of different parts in the book that were sticking out to you guys. And it's like, damn, that's good.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. It's something, instead of reading your Bible, get these books. It will...
It'll help you out quite a bit more, actually. It'll help you out quite a bit more.
If you're used to reading the Bible, put that thing away.
Yeah, we don't want to feed those egregores, okay?
No, we don't.
Get K2 and K1 and feed the egregores, okay? They're our allies and our friends.
Now, I don't know if you want... Do you want to read the Hummingbird story?
How about you read the first half, and then I'll read the last bit, because this is really funny. This is
our last thing for today. Okay, yes. But it's a so get your popcorn out. This is a very interesting story. Okay, so this was on March 19th, 2026, the day after the equinox, and I was getting ready to go out to the chickens and heard the song Hummingbird and heard it say, "Oh, source of our being, oh, hummingbird." You get the song out and listen to that.
We'll link it in the description below.
Yeah.
And if I can figure out how to do it, I'll also put it up on the screen. I know there's a way to do that, but it'll be in the description if nothing else. Okay, I got you.
And then I thought, what about Mr. Ed? Source of our being, Mr. Ed. And then where does he fit into all this? And then I heard... He takes all the sources' prayers and egregores, and we take all the God prayers and egregores, and that makes it so much easier. So he takes the good ones, and we take the crappy God ones, and so it's like he does some, we do some. So that's good. Okay, so then
we alchemize them and turn them into something useful.
We do. So here's what I wrote to the team. I said, "Oh my dragons!" I was telling Daniel about an epiphany I had last night that has to do with this song. I looked it up so I could see the lyrics with this song, and now I'm crying my eyes out watching the Hummingbird video, and it is so sweet. Oh my gosh, all the hummingbirds, your heart goes, oh, I just love them so much. And especially when it says, "Oh, source of our being," that hit me to the core. There is something to this song that is coded. For one thing, maybe the hummingbird helps connect to the source of our being, our sumas. And I'm like, bing, yes. And when it said, and I had not even understood this before, it said, "We were so wrong to have harmed you," to the hummingbird. And I'm like, did somebody harm the hummingbird? I'm just like, and so it made me wonder what dark lord did this to the little birdie. And I didn't know anyone that has ever said they hate hummingbirds. Have you? And there is something to this song. This, by the way, is what I wrote to the HRT. Then I said, there is something to this song that I've always loved, but didn't really get the meaning till today. And what do you think about it? And I put the link in there. And then I said, you need to listen to it with headphones, and you really do, to really get it. Hummingbird video song, and I started to cry again. And when I looked up the atmosphere of Baja, I didn't know Abba, but he said Baja. So I looked up the meaning, and it is primarily Indian Sanskrit origin, girl's name meaning light, luster, splendor, or radiance. It often symbolizes beauty, enlightenment, divine glow. Additionally, it represents a reflected image and is sometimes used to describe a halo or a Bahamadala. Okay, so now this is my note to you.
Okay, so it's really funny. She wrote me that night, and she's having this amazing experience. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll turn this on. I hated it. I listened to 10 seconds of it, and I was like, oh, my ears, oh, I hate this. It was too, like, it just sounded so new agey to me. I couldn't stand the guy's voice. I hated the lyrics.
So
I was like, this is stupid.
And I'm like, why? Why do you hate it?
And I tried to be as respectful as I could because I knew she was having an amazing experience, and I didn't want to take away from that at all. And it's like, I'm glad you like it, but for some reason, I cannot stand this song.
Nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. So after a while, she was looking into it to be like, okay, why is Daniel being messed with on this? Because this song is amazing and he should love it. She thought I was going to just absolutely love it right away, and I should have. Now, what happened was apparently before I came into the body, I jumped into Laura and Crofts and made this song, made the lyrics and everything, and performed it through them with specific codes. Yeah, and I'm getting goosebumps. For us and other HRT to help us wake up when the time is right and to support us when the time is right. And so I kept trying to listen to it over and over again. I tried it with headphones. I tried it quietly. I tried it loud. It just didn't work. And then one night she wrote me and said, there was a curse on this song, and now the curse is lifted. So try it again. And so I plugged in my headphones, and I started listening to it, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm like, shoot, I guess I'm glad I helped make that song in the first place. And now I love this song. I listen to it regularly, actually, even in my car, and I'll be singing along, or like I'll be cooking in my kitchen. Hummingbird, don't fly away, ba, 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 as I'm like stirring, soup or whatever I'm cooking. So I just thought that was so interesting because that song triggered me so bad.
Well, it triggered me in a good way, and it triggered him in a bad way. I'm like, okay, somehow we're both right. How are we both right?
But I knew I was being messed with, and I knew that right away, because it's like, there's no reason why I should hate any song this much unless it's rap. So, and I'm not talking about old school rap, okay? Some of that's all right, but the newer stuff, nah, I don't waste my time with that shit. So, I started thinking about hummingbirds and their importance, and I remembered, and this is in the notes, so there was a time years ago, I think I was 8 years old, and I was out fishing on a lake, and crystal clear water. This was up in a mountain lake out in Idaho, very secluded, very hard to get to. And while I was out there fishing, all of a sudden, this little hummingbird flew up and sat right on my fishing pole, really, really close to my face. And I stopped reeling. I stopped, I had a little bobber out there. And it was going up and down, but I didn't care. I was just sitting there watching this hummingbird. And it was one of those moments where it was probably only 10 seconds long, but it felt like minutes. It felt like half an hour of sitting there with this beautiful little bird. And I remember how touched I was when that happened. I thought it was just such a beautiful, magical experience. And, gosh, actually, now that I think about it, back then, I was heavily into indoctrination. Heavenly indoctrination, by the way. Lots of Christian bullshit. And I do call it bullshit because
that's what it is.
What it is. Especially with how I was taught, I will say, I do believe there are some good tenets in true Christianity. However, as soon as you claim that label or any other label, you're no longer getting just the information. You're no longer seeing it critically. you're now seeing it as the mind control that it is, and you're not even aware of it. You're just like, oh yeah, that sounds nice. Okay, we'll go along with it. No, think for yourself. Okay, you'll find parts that are useful to you and other parts that are not, and you might find that they're not useful in every case. So discernment is key. So yeah, so I helped jump into that body.
Oh yeah.
And now what's interesting about hummingbirds too is their abilities. They're not like regular birds. So hummingbirds are the only bird capable of flying in all directions. You know, forward, backward, up, down, sideways. You know, and they do it like stable. You know, they're not.
It's all deliberate. It's not.
They're not
haphazard
curving.
and,
Yeah. And their unique rigid wing structure rotates 180 degrees at the shoulder in a figure-8 motion. You know, like figure-8. I'm just saying.
Where have I seen that before?
I don't know, but we should jump on that one. Yeah, that's a good number there. And this allows them to hover 50 to 80 times per second and maneuver with insect-like precision. Wait. No, I read that right from the notes. Yeah. For some reason it's not fitting in my brain, but basically their wings beat 50 to 80 times per second, and they maneuver with insect-like precision. And that's what it says in the notes, but for some reason my brain was like...
I hope I didn't do a typo, but I copied that.
Exactly. Google typoed it.
That's right.
And we also discovered, too, that their heartbeat is really fast. Okay, and then at one point, so this post was on our Telegram group that we have with the small group of HRT. In order to qualify to get into this group, you have to have a certain amount of sessions with Laura Lee and I. You know, you have to read all the Kryahgenetics books. We can even share the requirements on here somewhere, maybe in the description.
But you have to be part of the hologram rescue team. Just Joe Blow person.
But a Joe Blow person isn't going to read all your books.
That's true. That's so true.
So, anyway, so here's some more hummingbird intel. This was written on March 23rd, 2026. The new day is dawning for us all. That's one of the lyrics from the song. We need to tell ourselves this over and over every day. We are making it happen. Smiley face, sun emoji. Okay.
You did that.
And now, also from Laura Lee, she wrote, I just got this when I was working in my garden. Time flies like a hummingbird, end quote. There's truth to this. Note, make sure when you listen to this that you use headphones. It makes the world of difference in picking up the coding. We also know the CS had a hand in the creation of the song. And so a note to me from Laura Lee, I found out more about the things that were messing with your head. And I said, yeah, the things in my head were like little tiny bugs and little birds. And I think they're the opposite of our hummingbirds. So I asked our IT hummingbirds, they're a close relative to the IT bees, if they could help. And I saw our hummingbirds, our allies, racing through the air, taking out these bad birds and all these other little bugs with precision and speed. And I'm hearing that at this time, I was hearing that everyone had them, every HRT had them, and they were messing with all of us, and they were intelligent and knew how best to mess with us. They could read our thoughts and know exactly what we needed to hurt us the most. And that's so clever. So, we all had our own mishaps tailored to what would get us the most at that moment. And I was hearing that they are all either gone or subdued right now. Also, I just learned that our hummingbirds from home use Kryahgenetics nectar and make situations of people a little sweeter.
I love that.
Now, if you want more intel on the nectar, it's in K1, right? Or K2?
K2, I think.
It's in K2.
Yeah, I think.
Get both and check for yourself.
Remember.
I think it's in K2 because it's in the area where you're talking about the modes of the Ultima 17 egg, I believe, or the badass eggs. It's somewhere in that segment. So then, okay.
And this is a good part.
Okay,
really
do you
good.
want to read this next part
Yeah,
here?
okay,
Right
I'll
down
do
here?
it. Okay. So then, on the 2nd of April, I get a message from Susan, and she saw a hummingbird in her window after she got my email about them. And then she posted this, P.S. Dash Croft passed away today, 26th of March, 2026. May he rest in peace. His music will live forever. Now, that is the exact time that I heard the song, started to cry, and this whole thing happened. I mean, what are the chances? And so I said, I don't think that's just a coincidence. I looked it up, and he died of a heart failure in the hospital in Austin, Texas. That was right at the same time we were grokking his Hummingbird Song and celebrating it. So it just gets me.
Yeah.
So, on that note, we're done.
Yeah. Wait, are we dumb or done?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, we'll have fun with it. So everyone, thank you for watching and participating with this show. Again, please like, share, and subscribe to both of our channels if you feel so inclined. That would help both of us out. And honestly, we love hearing from all of you. We have had quite a few of you reach out to us over the last few months asking, hey, when's the next video?
Where is everybody? What's the matter? Are you dead?
I had one lady, she was like, I've rewatched all the old videos 4 times now.
I want a new one.
She was very kind about it, but I could tell. It's like, yes, you want a new video. I get that. We'll get it out to you.
We're doing our best.
So thank you, all of you, for the love and support. We make these videos for you. And so we're so glad that you enjoy them. We've had several people reach out and say when they're feeling down, they'll turn on our video, turn on double speed, and laugh at our chipmunk voices.
Turn on double speed. But we'll put that in the description because it helps you get through them more so you can watch more.
But if you are having a hard time understanding our words, maybe take it to 1.5 speed instead of just double.
Not double. I usually do 1.5 to 1.7, and that's
pretty good. Yeah,
and then you can hear a chipmunk voice.
Oh, I do have one more quick thing.
Okay.
So there is a group of videos that Laura Lee sent out to us, HRT. I will link them down in the description because I did find a YouTube version of them, and they are called the Pyramids of Power, I believe.
Yes.
I only watched the last one, I'll be totally honest, because I've had so much on my plate, I haven't had time to do much of anything. And she's like, oh, just do double speed, you'll be fine. The entire thing is in, like, other languages. I'm like, I don't understand shit. So I had to turn it back down to regular speed just so I could understand who's who and what's what and where are they getting to, what are they saying.
No, it's really good. And we'll talk about that more in our next video because But
I will definitely put the description down below so you'll have time to watch that before the next video.
Because it's spot on. So, and not that many things out there are. But that one is.
And it's not AI.
It's not AI. It
was done by humans.
Done by humans. And
it was such a relief.
They're amazing. And we know that they're indigos and probably HRT. So anyway, okay, everybody. Have an awesome day or night or whatever. We love you. And we will see you again very, very soon.
Yes, tons. Sorry, what was that?
Well, which will be like, I don't know, 20 minutes for us, but it'll be probably a month for you guys.
I'll space it out. Okay. Yes, so much gratitude to all of you and authentic UV rum omni love to all of you.
That's right.
And again, please like, share, and subscribe. And we look forward to the next video where we will join together again, laugh, and have fun.
It's going to be a good one.